I still remember the exact moment my life split in two. 1 second I was balancing a tray of champagne flutes in Seoul's most exclusive lounge, and the next I was sitting in the lap of a man whose eyes held more danger than any weapon I'd ever seen. They told me later that Kang Min-jun doesn't let strangers touch him. But that night, when I threw myself into his arms to escape the monster I used to love, he didn't push me away. He pulled me closer. This is the story of Chanda, a Zambian woman who went from serving drinks to the most dangerous people in Seoul to becoming the one thing a Korean mafia boss never saw coming, a woman who refused to break even when breaking would have been easier. Welcome back, lovers of danger and devotion. Before we dive in, make sure you're subscribed. Hit that like button and tell me where you're watching from. Every click, every comment helps us keep unraveling these dangerous love stories together. Southwest, find your quiet place, dim the lights, and get ready. The Midnight Garden Lounge pulsed with low music and dangerous people. Chanda moved between tables with practiced grace, her dark skin luminous under amber lighting. 2 years in Seoul had taught her to read rooms, to sense danger, to make herself invisible when necessary. Tonight, she'd failed. Marcus Jin sat at the bar, his third whiskey gone, his eyes tracking her every movement. 3 weeks since she'd changed the locks. 3 weeks since she'd blocked his number. 3 weeks, and still he appeared everywhere, a ghost she couldn't outrun. Chanda. His voice cut through the noise as he stood. We need to talk. I'm working, Marcus. Please leave. You don't get to decide when we're done. He followed her toward the VIP section. 2 years I invested in you, and you think you can just walk away? Invested. As if she were property. Chanda's hands tightened on her tray. The manager wouldn't intervene. Security was minimal. She was alone, the way she'd been alone when Marcus's love had turned to control, when his gifts became chains, when his hands had found her throat. The VIP section was separated by velvet ropes and unspoken rules. The man who sat there tonight was new. Kang Min-jun occupied space like a predator, all clean lines and dangerous angles in a perfect black suit. He was beautiful in the way sharp things are beautiful. 2 men flanked him, alert and watchful. Chanda. Marcus's hand clamped on her elbow, spinning her around. The champagne flutes rattled. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Every eye in the VIP section turned. Min-jun leaned back slightly, predator noticing prey. Let go. You're coming home with me. Now. We're done, Marcus. You don't tell me anything. His voice rose. I gave you everything, and this is how you repay me. Panic clawed up Chanda's throat. She'd seen this version of Marcus before, in their apartment when she'd stayed out too late. This version ended with holes in walls, with her phone in pieces, with his hands around her throat. Her eyes swept the section desperately. No help coming. Except there was one seat open in that darkened corner booth. One impossibly dangerous seat. Chanda made a choice born of pure desperation. She twisted out of Marcus's grip, the tray clattering to the floor, and closed the distance to Min-jun's table. His eyes widened fractionally as she slid into his lap, her arms wrapping around his neck. Please, she whispered in English, then broken Korean. Please, just pretend you know me. For one eternal second, Min-jun went rigid. Then his arm came around her waist, possessive and sure, his other hand cupping the back of her head with surprising gentleness. Stay still, he murmured in perfect English. Don't move. Marcus arrived at the table, face flushed with rage. Get your hands off my girlfriend. Min-jun's gaze lifted with slow, deliberate attention. Your girlfriend. This woman in my arms, who came to me for protection from you, is your girlfriend. She's confused. Chanda, get up. Now. The lady stays where she is. You, however, are leaving. Do you know who I am? I'm Marcus Chen, VP of Chen International. I don't care if your family owns the moon. You're making a scene in an establishment I protect. And you're about to learn what happens to men who don't understand the word no. The 2 men with Min-jun stood, and suddenly Chanda understood. This wasn't neutral territory. This was his territory. Marcus's bravado cracked. This isn't over, Chanda. Yes, Min-jun said softly. It is. Jae-sung, make sure Mr. Chin finds his way out. And make sure he understands that if he approaches this woman again, we'll have a much longer conversation. Within seconds, Marcus was gone. Chanda remained frozen in Min-jun's lap, her heart hammering. You can let go now. He's gone. She tried to stand, but his hand on her wrist stopped her. Not hard, just firm. Not yet. What's your name? Chanda. Chanda Mwansa. Long way from home. How long has he been following you? 3 weeks. Since I ended things. Men like that don't stop. They escalate. Min-jun studied her. How much do you need? What? To get away from him. How much money would solve this? I can't accept money from you. Come to this address tomorrow at noon. He pulled a business card from his jacket. We'll discuss terms. If you agree, your problems disappear. If you don't, you walk away, and I'll still make sure Marcus stays far from you. Noon the next day found Chanda in a penthouse overlooking Gangnam. Min-jun stood by floor-to-ceiling windows. You came. You knew I would. Here are your answers. I need a girlfriend. A pretend girlfriend. For 3 months, you'll live here, attend events with me, play the role of the woman who tamed Kang Min-jun. In return, I'll give you 200 million won for your family's medical bills. Marcus Chen will leave Korea permanently. And you'll have my protection. Why would you need a pretend girlfriend? I'm expected to appear stable. My grandmother wants to see me married. Rivals see my single status as weakness. You solve these problems. What kind of organization do you run? Chanda's mouth went dry. The kind that operates in shadows. What I do is dangerous. But it's less dangerous than staying in Marcus's reach. You're asking me to trade one controlling man for another. No. I'm offering you a business arrangement with clear terms and an end date. You're free to leave anytime. And I will never touch you without permission. What Marcus did, I am not. Chanda stared down at the city. 2 years of scraping by, of sending everyone home to Lusaka, of enduring Marcus. Her mother's illness was consuming their savings. Her siblings needed school fees. Okay, she heard herself say. I'll do it. Welcome to my world, Chanda Mwansa. The next days blurred together. Chanda moved in, watched Min-jun wire money to her mother's hospital. She began learning who he was. The Viper, Jae-sung told her. That's what they call him. Because when he strikes, you don't see it coming. Min-jun has rules. No drugs near schools. No trafficking. No hurting civilians. But cross him, and he becomes the monster they named him for. Their first public appearance came 10 days later. A charity gala, Seoul's elite in designer clothes. Chanda wore midnight blue silk. You look terrified, Min-jun observed. I am terrified. You survived leaving an abusive relationship. You came to a foreign country alone. You sat in my lap and gambled everything. You're brave. This is just theater. Stay close. If you feel overwhelmed, squeeze my hand twice. I'll get us out. The signal was surprisingly thoughtful. On the red carpet, Min-jun was an excellent actor. His attention never wavered from her. When photographers asked them to kiss, he leaned down. May I? The consent made her chest tight. She nodded, and his lips brushed hers, soft and brief. Inside, he introduced her to powerful people. And finally, his grandmother. Park Sukja was 80 years old with snow-white hair and piercing eyes. She studied Chanda before speaking in Korean. She wants to know where you're from and why you're with a worthless grandson who can't give her great-grandchildren, Min-jun translated. Chanda smiled. Tell her I'm from Zambia, and I'm with you because you're kind when no one's watching, and you make me feel safe. Tell her you'd make an excellent father, when the time comes. His grandmother cackled with delight after he translated. She says you're too smart for me, and I better not let you go. I like her. The weeks fell into rhythm. Public appearances, private evenings where they learned each other. Late nights became their time. They'd sit by the windows with wine and talk. Min-jun told her about building his organization after his parents died. Chanda told him about Lusaka, about her father's death, about the scholarship that felt like escape and trap. I miss home, she admitted 6 weeks in. But I can't go back. That's the trap of leaving. Home stops being where you live and becomes where you're from. You understand that. When you choose this life, you exile yourself from normal things. This arrangement, it's the closest I've come to normal in 15 years. The shift happened gradually. Min-jun's hand at her back stopped feeling like performance. His morning greetings became the highlight of her day. When he smiled genuinely, she wanted to make him smile again. This is a problem, Jae-sung informed her 8 weeks in. You're both catching feelings. Feelings make people stupid. Our enemies have noticed. Kim Tae-won's crew is asking questions. You were supposed to make Min-jun look stable, not give him an actual vulnerability. 3 days later, Min-jun had an event at the Grand Hyatt. Dress impressively. Rivals will be watching. She wore red. Min-jun's eyes went dark. You're beautiful. You're stalling. After tonight, I need to tell you something. About the arrangement, about what happens after 3 months. Her heart hammered. Okay. After tonight. They never got the chance. The event started normally. Wine, small talk. But tension hummed underneath. When the first gunshot cracked through the ballroom, time fractured. Min-jun moved faster than thought, his body covering hers, driving her down behind an overturned table. Screaming, running, more gunshots. Everything was noise and terror and Min-jun's weight pressing her safe. Stay down, he ordered, blood on his shoulder where a bullet had grazed him. The firefight lasted maybe 90 seconds. Then Jae-sung was dragging them toward an exit, into a car. Hospital, Jae-sung said. No. Home. Min-jun's face was pale but steady. Chanda, are you hurt? No. You're bleeding. I'm fine. His hand found hers, gripping tight. Kim Tae-won. He targeted me when I looked distracted. This is my fault. I brought you to disputed territory because I wanted you there. Wanted everyone to see that you're mine. His eyes met hers, raw and unguarded. Except you're not mine. This was supposed to be fake, and I've let it become real, and now you almost died because I forgot the first rule. Don't love anything you're not willing to lose. The confession hung between them. Min-jun. When we get home, pack your things. You're leaving tonight. Kim Tae-won knows about you. He'll come after you to hurt me. And I can't watch you die because I was selfish. You don't get to decide that alone. Anger flooded her. If you think you can just send me away without asking what I want. What you want doesn't matter when it will get you killed. Then I guess I'll die. Because what I want is to stay. I want to stay with you, Min-jun. Not as a fake girlfriend. As someone who sees you, all of you. I want to stay, and yes, it's terrifying, but I've been running from dangerous men my whole life. Maybe it's time I stayed and fought for one who's worth it. Min-jun stared at her, broken and wild. You don't know what you're saying. I know. And I'm still choosing it. I'm choosing you. If you want me. If I want you. He laughed, ragged. I've wanted you since the night you trusted me. I've wanted you through every fake smile and real conversation. But wanting and having are different things. Kim Tae-won already knows. So you can send me away and I'll be vulnerable alone, or I can stay and we face this together. Are you brave enough to let someone love you? Min-jun's hand came up to cup her face. I've faced down rival gangs and men with knives. But you terrify me. You walk into my life and suddenly I have something to lose. I left Marcus because he tried to own me. I'll leave you too if you try to control me. But if you're asking me to partner with you, then ask me properly. Silence stretched. Then Min-jun spoke, barely a whisper. Stay with me. Not for 3 months. Not as an arrangement. Stay because I love you and I'm terrified and I want to learn. Stay with me, Chanda, please. Yes. Yes, I'll stay. His kiss was need and relief and promise. Chanda kissed him back with everything she had. While his doctor patched his shoulder, Chanda made tea, processing that she'd just committed to a life she barely understood. "You're having second thoughts," Min-jun said when they were alone. "Reality settling in. I almost watched you die. That's going to keep happening, isn't it?" "Yes. I can minimize risk, but I can't eliminate it." "Then teach me. Train me. Let me be your partner, not your liability." Respect flickered in his expression. "You're serious?" "Completely. Most people either fear me or want to use me. You're the first who's ever asked to stand beside me. You're brilliant and complicated and dangerous, but you're also lonely. You're trying so hard to be the monster they named you, but you keep doing these unbearably kind things." Min-jun was quiet. "My parents died because my father got soft. He fell in love, and rivals used her against him. I was 8. They killed them both. My grandmother survived because she knew not to love anything more than survival. I built everything by following her example. And yet you covered my body with yours." Chanda's throat tightened. "You say you learned not to love, but that's a lie. You love your grandmother. You love Jae-sung like a brother. You've been loving things your whole life. You just convinced yourself it was strategy. If it's love, it's the most dangerous weapon I possess. Or maybe your father died protecting what mattered more than survival. Maybe that's not weakness. Maybe that's the point." Jae-sung returned, grim. "Kim Tae-won is demanding a sit-down. 2 days. The warehouse district." "It's a trap," Chanda said with certainty. "He tried to kill you tonight. Why would he negotiate?" Both men looked at her. Jae-sung nodded. "She's right. So we go prepared," Chanda continued. "Tell him yes," Min-jun said. "We go ready for war. And Chanda stays here with guards." "No. If this is about me." "Absolutely not. I will teach you, make you my equal. But I will not take you into a warehouse where someone is planning to kill me. Please don't fight me on this. I can't think if I'm worried about you bleeding out. Give me this. Let me protect you this one time." The police stopped her. This wasn't about control. This was about a man who'd watched his parents die, terrified of repeating history. "Okay. I'll stay. But you come back to me. No heroic sacrifices. I promise." The next 2 days were agony. Min-jun planned with his team. The night before, he came to her room. They ended up on her bed, talking in the dark. "I want you," she confessed. "I want you even though you're dangerous, even though tomorrow you're walking into a trap. I want you, Min-jun. Just you." His kiss was answer and promise. They fell asleep tangled together. He left at dawn, suited and armed. At the door, he turned back. "When this is over, I'm taking you to Zambia. To meet your family properly. To ask your mother's permission to keep you." "You don't need permission. I'm not property." "No, but you're hers before you're mine. And I want to do this right. If I survive today, remind me." Then he was gone. The warehouse was rusted metal and broken windows. Min-jun arrived with Jae-sung and 6 men. His snipers were positioned on roofs. Kim Tae-won was waiting. He smiled when Min-jun entered. "You actually came. I thought losing your parents in an ambush would have taught you better." Min-jun didn't react. "You wanted to negotiate." "Negotiate?" Kim laughed. "No. I invited you to explain how things work now that you've shown your weakness. That African woman. Chanda. Pretty thing. I wonder how she'd look with a knife to her throat." "You won't touch her." "I won't. You're outnumbered." Kim gestured, and his men raised weapons. "You're going to sign over your territories. Then you're going to disappear, or I'll make sure your girlfriend does." Painfully. Silence. Then Min-jun smiled, terrifying and cold. "You made a mistake. You assumed love made me weak instead of understanding it made me ruthless. You threatened her. The one person I would burn everything to protect. So now I'm going to show you what happens when someone makes the Viper angry. He raised his hand. Chaos erupted. Snipers took out Kim's men with precision. Jae-sung moved like violence incarnate. Within 60 seconds, Kim Tae-won was on his knees, his men dead or dying. Min-jun walked toward him slowly. You wanted to know if love was weakness. Love doesn't make you soft. It gives you someone to come home to, which means you fight harder. It gives you someone to protect, which means you plan better. And when you threaten that person, it removes every restraint. You didn't exploit my weakness. You gave me a reason to stop holding back. You can't kill me. Everyone will see what happens to people who threaten mine. The gunshot echoed. Kim Tae-won fell. Clean this up, Min-jun told Jae-sung. Make sure everyone understands. Then meet me at home. I promised someone I'd come back. Chanda was pacing when Min-jun returned, blood on his shirt but walking. She launched herself at him, checking for injuries. You're late. It's almost 2. I thought. I know. I'm sorry. But I'm here. I came back. Did you? Yes. Kim Tae-won is dead. Everyone in Seoul now knows you're under my protection. You're safe now. I was never worried about me. I was worried about you, you idiot. Tears spilled over. I'm sorry. He kissed her forehead, her cheeks. I'm here now. We're both okay. They stood there, holding each other, while Seoul sprawled below. What happens now? Chanda asked. Now we do what we should have done from the start. Actually date. Build something real. While you run a criminal empire. While I run an empire and you decide what you want to do. You're brilliant. You could do anything. Maybe I want to help you. Your organization needs someone who understands international connections. You're powerful in Seoul, but your reach is limited. I could build that. Use my hospitality background, my languages. Make us truly international. Min-jun stared at her. You're serious. Completely. If I'm going to be with you, I want to be useful. A partner, remember. You're extraordinary. 2 months and you're already planning expansion strategies. I learned from the best. They kissed again, celebration and relief and promise. Come on. I promised your mother I'd bring you home to Zambia. We should start planning. Now. You just killed someone. Exactly. I need to think about something beautiful instead of violent. Tell me about Lusaka. So Chanda talked, and Min-jun listened, and outside Seoul glittered, full of danger and possibility and tomorrow. 3 months later, Chanda stood in her mother's garden in Lusaka, Min-jun beside her. Her mother was healthy, her siblings thriving. He's dangerous, her mother said quietly. But he's also desperately in love with you. I know, Mama. Both kinds of dangerous. And you're happy. Chanda watched Min-jun laugh with her brother. I'm terrified and exhilarated and more alive than I've ever been. So yes. I'm happy. That night, Min-jun proposed. Marry me, Chanda Mwansa. Not because I need a wife for appearances. Marry me because I love you and I want to build a life with you, dangerous and complicated and real. Because you're the only person who's ever made me want forever. She said yes. They married 6 months later, blending Zambian and Korean traditions. Chanda wore white and gold, and Min-jun looked at her like she'd hung every star. Mrs. Kang, he murmured during their first dance. Mrs. Kang Wansa. I'm keeping my name too. We're partners, remember. Partners. In crime and in love. They danced under Seoul's stars, surrounded by people who loved them and people who feared them. And if their love story had started with desperation and danger, it had transformed into something stronger. Something that couldn't be broken. Because Chanda had learned something essential in that lounge when she'd gambled everything on a stranger's mercy. Sometimes the most dangerous choice is also the right one. Sometimes the monster becomes the man. And sometimes, if you're very brave and very lucky, love doesn't make you weak at all. It makes you invincible. If you loved Chanda and Min-jun's story of dangerous love and second chances, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another tale of passion and power. Drop a comment telling me what you thought. And don't forget to like this video. Share this with someone who needs a reminder that love, real love, is worth fighting for, even when it's terrifying. Until next time, my loves, choose your danger wisely and never apologize for wanting more.